If your brain has learned that yelling gets you attention, that reacting quickly is how you stay in control, that calm gets ignored, your brain is going to reach for that shortcut when things feel overwhelming. This is not about you being a bad mother. No, this is about your brain doing its job, but with an outdated map. Welcome to the Motherhood and the Brain podcast, where overworked, stressed out moms come to breathe, reset, and remember they are not alone. My name is Esther Mbabazi. I am a mom and a certified coach, and I help you understand what's really going on in your brain when the pressure builds and yelling feels like the only option. On this podcast, we talk about real-life motherhood moments, the kind that push your buttons, and how to meet them with calm, clarity, and self-compassion. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because no one ever taught us how to do it differently. This is your space to pause and make the shift from reaction to intention. Let's get started. Just a quick note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't a substitute for therapy, mental health treatment, or medical advice. Please reach out to a licensed professional if you need personal support. Hello there. Welcome back to the Motherhood and the Brain podcast. This is episode number 65, and my name is Esther Mbabazi. How are you doing? How are you feeling? On this podcast, we are very preoccupied with feelings because our feelings drive everything that we do or do not do. That is why we are very preoccupied with how we feel. So how are you really feeling? Are you feeling annoyed? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling happy? Are you joyful? For example, I feel happy because it is summer. And I understand this intellectually, that the weather does not control my emotional or my inner well-being. But somehow it does. So I feel happy every day I wake up. There's the sun. It is peeking through the curtains. Like I'm joyful. So how are you feeling today? How are you doing? It is summer now. The kids are probably at home. They have the whole day, or they are off routine, which is a good thing and can be a bad thing at the same time. So how are you really feeling and doing? Take a minute, scan your body and see what is happening. And then let me know. I have an Instagram account that is not very active. I don't post so much on there. And it's called Help Moms Yell Less, something like that. So if you can go there and DM me about how you're feeling and what you would like me to talk about on the podcast. If you have any feedback, send me a DM at Help Moms Yell Less Coach. I think that is what it is called. I don't post so much on there. So anyway, let's start with today's episode. There is a moment, maybe you know it, maybe you have been there. I have been there many times myself. You're standing in the middle of your kitchen. The noise is building. Your kids are arguing. They are name-calling each other. They have piled maybe dirty dishes in the sink, even when you have told them time and time again to pick up after themselves. You feel your chest tighten, your jaw clench, and something like a wave is rising in you fast. And before you can stop it, you snap and you yell once again. And afterward, there is that familiar wave of guilt, frustration, and maybe shame. Why did I do that? I said I would not. I want to stay calm. So if this hits home, I want to take you somewhere unexpected today. In the movie, The Matrix. Yes, that Matrix. And more specifically, I want to take you into one seemingly small moment involving a piece of candy. In the Matrix, in this particular scene, Neo meets the Oracle, a warm, wise, grandmotherly figure who bakes cookies while casually unraveling Neo's entire understanding of reality. At the end of their conversation, she offers him a red piece of candy. Neo doesn't grab it immediately. He pauses just for a bit, then he reaches out and takes it. And at that moment, his hesitation, then acceptance, has a lot to say about you, me, and why we react the way we do, especially as mothers under pressure. Neo's pause before taking the candy tells us that he is not sleepwalking. Something in him is starting to wake up, but he still takes the candy. He doesn't fully know why he's taking the candy. He doesn't really want it, but there's a deeper pull here. There is a script running in the background that says, be polite, don't question the nice woman, take the candy. That right there is what scientists call conditioning or unconscious programming. The candy and the snap, the pause, then the reach is the exact same moment you face when you snap at your child. It's not always obvious, but it's there. You feel the tension rising, there is a flash of awareness, I'm about to yell, then you do it anyway. Just like Neo, you pause and still take the candy. Not because you want to take the candy, not because it feels good, but because there is the pattern that your brain knows. Here's what's underneath. Your brain is built for efficiency. It loves to conserve energy. So over time, it builds short circuits, what scientists call neural pathways. And if your brain has learned that yelling gets you attention, that reacting quickly is how you stay in control, that calm gets ignored, your brain is going to reach for that shortcut when things feel overwhelming. This is not about you being a bad mother. No, this is about your brain doing its job, but with an outdated map. Now, here is where it gets deeper. You yelled, you feel broken because you yelled. You might think to yourself, if I didn't really choose the yelling, do I even have free will? But here is the answer that I believe in. You don't have freedom when you are inside the pattern. But the moment you start seeing the pattern, that pause before you grab the candy, you have access to something new. And that pause is where coaching meets you. That pause is not about fixing you. It's about expanding, making the space between the urge and the action a little bit wider until it's wide enough to choose. You understand your triggers in coaching, you trace them back to where they come from, and you start to build ways to respond, ways that actually reflect the mom that you want to be. Because yelling is not the problem. Not seeing the pattern is the problem. Let me repeat. Yelling is not the problem. The problem is not seeing the pattern, not being aware that there is a pattern that your brain is following. The next time you feel tension build, you feel the noise rising, you feel the urge to yell, take a pause. Not to be perfect, but to become aware. That pause is not weakness. That pause is not failure. That pause is your first step toward freedom. Because just like Neo in the Matrix, you are waking up You are not broken. Your brain is just running on old patterns. And patterns can be rewired. You don't need more guilt. You don't need more clarity, more pauses, or more presence. And you just need someone to walk beside you as you practice. If you're ready for that, if you're ready to stretch that pause into something powerful, this is the work that I do inside of my program called the Year Less Formula. Because the moment you become aware of the candy in someone's hand, you have already started the shift. The moment you become aware of the patterns that your brain is following, you have already started the shift toward becoming the mom that you know you want to become. But these old patterns are just in the way of becoming that mom. So, thank you so much for listening. Talk to you again next week. Bye for now.